The Alien Zoo. In the sunlit serenity of Elmwood, a quintessential American suburb where laughter echoed and children played under the watchful gaze of sprawling oaks, an insidious mystery began to unfold. The residents, basking in the idyll of their community, remained blissfully unaware of the shadows creeping at the edge of their reality. The Harrisons, having just moved into their dream home, were enamored by the neighborhood's charm. Warm welcomes and friendly faces promised a fresh start, but beneath the veneer of suburban bliss, unsettling occurrences whispered of a deeper malaise. Pets began to vanish, leaving no trace, only to return days later, their behavior oddly changed, as if carrying the weight of unseen burdens. The Harrisons' own cat, Luna, returned one evening, her vibrant eyes now dull, gazing into the distance with an eerie detachment. Night brought inexplicable sounds, whispers that seemed to dance with the wind, and shadows that flickered just beyond the corner of one's eye. These phenomena were dismissed as tricks of the light or the product of overactive imaginations. Yet, the unease within Elmwood grew, an undercurrent of fear that daylight could not dispel. Teenagers trading stories of a creeping fog that enveloped the edge of town became the first tangible sign that Elmwood was changing. Initially dismissed as fanciful tales, the fog soon became impossible to ignore, a smothering presence that seemed to edge ever closer. The community's concern deepened as attempts to reach out to the outside world began to falter. Phones no longer connected to familiar numbers, and the internet became a barren wasteland of connectivity. Elmwood, in all its sunny isolation, had become cut off. The realization that they were trapped was gradual but undeniable. Roads that once led to neighboring towns now looped back upon themselves, ensnaring the residents in an inescapable labyrinth. A town meeting was convened, a congregation of confused and frightened souls seeking answers. It was here that the depth of their predicament began to truly unfold. Shared experiences of strange dreams, visions of being watched, and the unshakable feeling of being part of something unnatural wove a tapestry of terror. In the throes of collective desperation, the community rallied together, pooling resources and knowledge in a bid to uncover the truth. Surveillance systems, once used to monitor petty thefts, now sought to capture evidence of their unseen watchers. But what they found was not relief, but a deepening mystery. Cameras and recording devices malfunctioned inexplicably, footage corrupted by static or, more disturbingly, revealing glimpses of figures that were not quite human, observing with a cold, impassive curiosity. As winter approached, the sun's warmth waned, but the pervading chill that settled over Elmwood came not from the weather. The realization that they were being manipulated, observed, and perhaps even controlled, became impossible to ignore. The turning point came unexpectedly. A group of children, playing near the town's edge, stumbled upon a section of ground that felt unnaturally warm, the earth humming with a hidden energy. Their discovery, innocent in its inception, became the catalyst for a desperate investigation. Digging at the site revealed not soil and rock, but metal and wires, a technological marvel buried beneath their feet. This was no natural phenomenon, it was clear evidence of something otherworldly. The pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place, each revelation more horrifying than the last. Elmwood, for all its earthly familiarity, was a facade, a construct designed to mimic the comforts of home while serving a purpose far beyond their comprehension. In a final act of defiance, the community banded together, leveraging the discovered technology in a bid to break free from their unseen captors. Their efforts, fueled by desperation, illuminated the full extent of their prison. As they breached the final barrier, the truth was laid bare in a revelation that shook the very foundation of their reality. Elmwood, in its picturesque perfection, was not on Earth. The sky, the trees, the very air they breathed, simulations of a life they believed to be their own. They stood, not under the open sky, but within a containment field, an exhibit of sorts. Their lives, their joys, and their sorrows had been on display, a specimen of humanity observed by entities whose existence was as unfathomable as the depths of space. The horror of their situation, the realization that they were far from home, specimens in an alien study, was a truth more terrifying than any fiction. Their idyllic suburb, a carefully constructed cage, had been a stage upon which they unwittingly performed. In the end, the residents of Elmwood faced their new reality with a resilience born of necessity. Their suburb, once a haven of happiness, had become a symbol of their struggle against the unknown. As the grim truth of their existence unfolded before the residents of Elmwood, a spark of defiance ignited within their hearts. This picturesque suburb, a facade of serenity and joy, had been their prison, and its architects, beings of an unfathomable cosmos, their unseen wardens. The realization that their lives were mere entertainment, a spectacle for alien spectators, was a catalyst for revolt. Whispers of rebellion spread like wildfire, each conversation a kindling for the flame of resistance. The community, once bound by neighborly ties, now united under a banner of insurrection. Plans were laid in the cover of night, strategies devised with the desperate ingenuity of the trapped and the determined. As the first acts of defiance took shape, strange occurrences rippled through Elmwood. Figures who stood at the forefront of the rebellion began to vanish without a trace, their absence a chilling void in the fabric of the community. In their place, new faces emerged, seamlessly integrated into the daily rhythms of suburb life, their presence unmarked by the histories and relationships that had defined the town. Suspicion took root among the residents. The realization that their captors could not only observe but intervene, altering the very population of Elmwood, was a psychological blow from which there was no recovery. The replacements, perfect in every detail but devoid of the original spirit, served as a constant reminder of their powerlessness. Yet, this did not quell the spirit of rebellion, it only drove it deeper underground. The remaining residents, undeterred by the threat of disappearance, pressed on with their efforts, their actions becoming ever more bold, their sabotage against the alien infrastructure more daring. But with each act of defiance, the response was swift and merciless. One by one, the rebels were plucked from their homes, from the streets, from the very midst of their plotting. Their absences became a silent testament to the cost of resistance. Outside the dome, in the vast expanse of space, a heartbreaking scene unfolded. The rebels, those who had dared to stand against their unseen jailers, drifted slowly away from Elmwood. Their bodies, lifeless and serene, were set adrift towards the alien sun, a spectacle of their own, a warning to those who remained. From within the confines of their suburban cage, the residents of Elmwood watched in horror as their friends, their family members, became distant specks against the backdrop of the cosmos. The realization that their rebellion had been quashed not with violence or confrontation, but with the cold indifference of disappearance, was a final, crushing defeat. The rebellion of Elmwood ended not with a climactic battle or a triumphant escape, but with the silent acceptance of their fate. The suburb, once a beacon of unity and resistance, settled back into a facade of normalcy, its residents a mixture of originals and replacements, living side by side under the watchful gaze of their captors. In the aftermath, Elmwood remained a place of eerie perfection, its streets and homes a stage upon which the drama of human life continued to unfold, observed by entities for whom the concepts of freedom and resistance were but curious aberrations. The tale of Elmwood, its rebellion and its fall, became a whisper among the stars, a cautionary tale of the limits of human agency against the unfathomable might of the cosmos. And in the hearts of those who remembered, a somber resolve lingered, a resolve to remember, to mourn, and to never forget the cost of reaching for freedom in the shadow of giants. Dare to venture into the unknown. Join us on a journey where shadows whisper and secrets lurk. Subscribe now and ring the bell to summon fresh mysteries directly to your screen every few days. Ignore this call, and be warned, an eternal curse awaits those who wander in the dark, unguided. Do you have the courage to face the unknown? Your adventure begins with a click. Welcome to the realm where every notification brings you closer to the abyss. Subscribe, if you dare.